Hey, well, thank you all for coming out today. My name is Warner, Sabio Sr. I'm a PhD student in jazz studies here at the University of Pittsburgh. And today we'll be doing some poetry and some reading and some music. And I like to say, you know, this is what I call the redemption show. And I say that to mean that about 40 some odd years ago when I was in the third grade, I had a poetry reading that a teacher gave me to do for the school. And this was a reading where it was in front of a large audience. The whole auditorium was filled. Each grade would get a representative, and I represented the third grade. And it was daunting for me. It was my first time on stage, and I got up on the stage in front of this huge crowd. And I remember thinking, being so young, and the 10 and 11-year-olds were so much older, and it was so frightening experience. And I got there, and I started to do the poem, but I got so scared that I looked down and forgot my lines, and that was the end of that. I mean, I eventually remembered and continued, but I always had that moment in the back of my mind of how I could do that over again if I really had the opportunity. And so I'm gonna take the opportunity today to enjoy myself, have fun, and give you some poetry and some music. So let's begin with the first tune, which is Beautiful You. Today we gather to simply celebrate the person crass consumerism tries to annihilate with incessant chatter about what you lack. Today it's our moment to push back. They tell you that you aren't enough. For them you are deficient and lacking in stuff. They claim only things you don't have can make you better. So that's why today I'm reading this love letter. It's all about you. Beautiful you. Organically divine in every way. I love to see you walk when you sashay. Feeling confident and majestic like it's your day. Yes, this note is to you. Yes, you. Not he, she, or they, but beautiful you. The you who's too busy taking care of everyone else's needs. The you who is told you're woefully incomplete. The you who is fun, fly, hip when no one's around. But I know you can really get down because you are righteous in every way. Those whack-ass commercials have nothing to say. It's all about you. Beautiful you. Organically divine in every way. I love to see you walk when you sashay, feeling confident and majestic like it's your day. They say nobody's perfect, and sure, that's fine. But to keep telling people they are not enough, now that's a crime. Especially nasty because they do it to kids. Pushing the idea of lack because it's excellent biz. Well, enough about them. I'm talking about you. And I'm singing your praises and exalting your presence too. Because you are unique and beautiful as you are. Like Sly said back in the day, you are a star. Shine bright, dear one, and let us all see the innate beauty that lies within. You're precious and gorgeous, no faults to criticize, because you are exquisite, breathtaking, a treat to the eyes. You have that spark of celestial divinity, illuminating your way through life for all to see. Dainty 1 minute, assertive the next. The world is your stage, and you enchant us with pirouettes. It's all about you. Beautiful you. Organically divine in every way. I love to see you walk when you sashay, feeling confident and majestic like it's your day. It's all about you. Beautiful you. Organic and divine in every way. Beautiful you. All right, and we'll move on to the next piece, which is entitled I Am the Voice. And it's about that little voice inside of you, intuition. So let's let this one speak for itself. I am the voice, yes you know who, that sagacious counsel who words ring true. Sometimes you ghost me, sometimes you ignore me, turn away, but I pass no judgment, I save it for another day. And his was pretty strange, you needed my help, cause you asked a simple question, or maybe you yelled. Don't you recall you said, oh no, what should I do? I tried to list some suitable options, but you said, shut up, I'm through. But no worries, beloved, I will always be there for sure. And karma's a homie, they're modest and demure. But keep on ignoring me and trying things your own way, and then karma will kick in and I won't have anything to say. Look, I am the voice, your very own MVP. Like Kareem in that sky hook, there really ain't no stopping we. So get out of your own way, take a second and chill. Breathing's essential, I'm heard when we're still. In moments of peace, like a tranquil stream, my influence is amplified, there's no need to scream. I am the voice that underlying billion knows. We are you, a greater understanding I'll hip you to. Me, who am I? I'm part of that universal truth, that divinity that ties us all together through and through. No worries, beloved, this may come as a shock, for in this world we traverse, we have all simply forgotten. No doubt, a voice like mine speaks to all in some fashion or way, but listening is critical. It's a practice per se. I am the voice that grapples with our nemesis fear. They stand tall with confidence when they're in your ear. But beloved, no worries, we never despair. Fear runs away when confronted. It doesn't fight fair. I am the voice. I am the voice. I am the voice. I am the voice. I am the voice that dares to tell you the truth. You saw what you needed, don't ignore the proof. But love has a way of keeping us blind. I'm here to remind you that healing takes time. Be patient, my friend, and stay present and aware, for wisdom and knowing is my gift to share. Look, you've done well so far, and there's miles to go. I'm here with you through the peaks, valleys, highs, and lows. I am the voice. Okay. Okay, we move on to the next tune, which is called Alone. And this one is was written during this pandemic. It's about, the situation that we're all in. It also, I would like to say at this moment that this show has been put together and has been influenced by my adolescence in a sense. So there's a lot of hip-hop elements, there's a lot of 80s themes that come around through this. And that's something that I wanted to build in sort of as an influence here. So we'll start with this piece, Alone. Alone here I sit, wondering why the days just keep on passing me by. I have not left the house since last Thursday. The truth is, somehow I feel safer that way. My image seems to be having more fun than me, jumping around from tiny squares for all to see. Zoom keeps it busy in classroom settings. I just wish for more contact, but less is fitting. Time keeps on ticking, days pass into nights. Here I sit alone, and there's no end in sight. Time keeps on ticking, days pass into nights. Here I sit alone, and there's no end in sight. I have found a new friend, and they say it's me. Yeah, I hear his voice yapping endlessly. He tells me jokes when I'm not in the mood, and has long discourses about fair trade organic food. He has great advice and timely quotes, like this one he quipped when I was taking notes. The opening salvo to the war within. As pen touches paper, we let it begin. Whatever, man. Anyways, alone here I sit awaiting a call. I don't know who will come from, if it's from anyone at all. But hope keeps me waiting, just in case. Damn, do I miss a warm embrace. Time keeps on ticking, days pass into nights. Here I sit alone, and there's no end in sight. Time keeps on ticking, days pass into nights. Here I sit alone, and there's no end in sight. I got excited the other day. My cell phone rang. Is it an old friend? Maybe a pal from the old gang? Oh, maybe a relative who happened to hear I was alone. Nah, it was just a spam call to buy insurance for my phone. I tried to keep the customer agent service on the line, ask him if he could spare some time to chat. He said, "Look, man, I'm just trying to work. It's the best excuse I have to get away from the berserks." The berserks? The berserks? The berserks, I asked, not quite sure. Yeah, the fam, you know, the ones who are quite dear. Since this lockdown has happened, I can't seem to get no peace. So I took this telemarketing job for some release. Oh, wow. Time keeps on ticking, days pass into nights. Here I sit alone, and there's no end in sight. Time keeps on ticking, days pass into nights. Here I sit alone, and there's no end in sight. Alone here I sit, engaged with research and work, desperately holding on so that I don't become a berserk. The walls are closing in, and I fight a big urge to scream, thinking that this will end soon, and it's just a whack dream. The temptress awaits. They claim we have a long-lasting date. I try to ignore the distraction, but Hulu Netflix wins the debate. They claim a bonanza of programs that will make me feel great. Hello? But it's all empty calories, and at the end of the night, I'm still solo. Guess what? I made another pal along the way. They send me lots of emails showcasing tasty displays. Yeah, I'm afraid to admit that it saves kitchen time, but Uber Eats Grubhub got their eyes on my last dime. Time keeps on ticking, days pass into nights. Here I sit alone, and there's no end in sight. Time keeps on ticking, days pass into nights. Here I sit alone, and there's no end in sight. Alone here I sit, filled with hope and gratitude, 'cause life could be much harder. On this I've been schooled. I have my health, clean water, and shelter, it's true. And when it's all over, I'll shout, yes, I got through. Time keeps on ticking, days pass into nights. Here I sit alone, and there is an end in sight. Oh, sorry about that. All right. Okay. This next tune is called 365. And this one is it's one of my favorite ones here because it's actually a set of love notes, love letters that have influenced this piece from my sweetie out there, Miss Monet. So we'll get this one started, and I hope you enjoy this one too. Four simple letters transform my life, obliterating darkness brought on by strife. With you in my arms, everything's just right. I'm taken to a place where I'm bathed in the light. Eclipsed by love, I'm showered in bliss. Spending time with you, words cease to exist. Dreaming of the day our eyes will again meet. When the world is crazy, in you I find peace. No matter what happens, no matter what occurs, my love for you will forever endure. Dreaming of the day our eyes will again meet. When the world is crazy, in you I find peace. No matter what happens, no matter what occurs, my love for you will forever endure. Love conquers all, isn't that what they say? Well, today I'm vanquished, and with you I'll stay. Because peace and joy have also found their way into our little love nest where we live and play. These four simple letters, L-O-V-E, mean so much more when you're with me. Dreaming of the days our eyes will again meet. When the world is crazy, in you I find peace. No matter what happens, no matter what occurs, my love for you will forever endure. What is a year? But a measurement of time, a brief moment in the history of humankind. If a year was a container able to hold the volume of things, such as the very thoughts and feelings for all the love that I bring, it would serve us no value and be of little pleasure, because the way I feel about you, a year could not measure. However, if there's such a vessel, collecting my love for you would have to be large enough to hold more than a century or two. Better yet, babe, and this is for sure, I'm truly lovesick and there is no cure. So the grail would be a fitting container to hold forever and the remainder. Nevertheless, I am grateful indeed, loving you immensely and tenderly, much like a farmer with coveted seeds. Like I cherish the thoughts of the possibilities. Like seedlings tended to with care and delight, I'll eagerly pull weeds, I'll toil and fight, loving you hard, babe, day and night, knowing that you are truly my wife. Your love propagates intense desires, the feeling I hope will never expire. It's heirloom seeds holding blessed dreams, sown by heavenly forces who are unseen. With you I will vow to live every moment, laugh every day, love beyond words and cherish our days. No matter what happens, no matter what occurs, my love for you will forever endure. My love for you will forever endure. All right, right on. I hope everyone out there is enjoying this program, and I know I am. So this is great. I have another poem up, and this one is called Lamentations. This is an interesting little piece here. This one is inspired by a fellow colleague of mine, Samuel Boateng, who's in the jazz studies program. He has a production coming out in the next week called Sun Tzu in Spirit, April 29th and 30th at the Hazlitt Theater. And it's we were talking about the program, and this sort of influenced this poem about the transatlantic slave trade and a chief feeling remorseful for what happens or what takes place in there. So hope you enjoy. the memories of you and dastardly deeds that were done that haunt my days and darkens the sun. Unlike embers in a fire, I despise the desire to ignite the dry kindling sourced from a want to move on. Regrets patiently linger, for recognition equals tinder, and sobriety is a condition I now scamper from. I knew what I did was wrong, but a world of greed, rum, and guns, I chose to sacrifice others, and what is done is done. The sorrow, the pain, the grief always remains, not soothed or tricked by riches from ill-gotten gains. The sorrow, the pain, the grief always remains, not soothed or tricked by riches from ill-gotten gains. May the spirits understand I was just a mere man who could not simply fathom the cost of my betrayal. May they stay fit to fight, recall the songs of ancestral might, negotiate the undue torment and the faultless travails. As I remember the day of my duplicit play, I repent vehemently, assail the quagmire I helped to unveil. Like smallpox it spread, death and disruption now tread along sacred paths and forests where once ancestors and gods were fed. The sorrow, the pain, the grief always remains, not soothed or tricked by riches from ill-gotten gains. The sorrow, the pain, the grief always remains, not soothed or tricked by riches from ill-gotten gains. Tormented by a suffocating cloud of guilt, a fraction of the distress that others must have took, I now spend my days in a palm wine-induced haze, running away from the specters with their judgmental gaze. Death? Oh yes, death is my concert, and after decades spent in devoted embrace, I'm now left in a shameful and remorseful state. And death has been wondering why I've been a fair-weathered friend as I sit here awaiting my imminent end. Look, I believed in the cause that I thought was true. I was not easily manipulated because I knew, but others were just the others, and I simply didn't care. Now this song of lament grew from a desire to repent. The sun is setting and the time is near for me to depart and to have my conscience cleared. Oh, the sorrow, the pain, the grief always remains, not soothed or tricked by riches from ill-gotten gains. The sorrow, the pain, the grief always remains, not soothed or tricked by riches from ill-gotten gains. The others were the others. They were not me, us, or we. So capturing and selling rivals meant absolute nothing to me. A thoughtless blow to humanity, that's what I vowed to defend. Now the elders sit and wonder when all this will come to an end. Egoistic embellishments, wanton lust for material gain, hold no meaning for me now. The currency remains is just pain. The sorrow, pain, the grief always remains, not soothed or tricked by riches from ill-gotten gains. The sorrow, the pain, the grief always remains, not soothed or tricked by riches from ill-gotten gains. Okay, thank you. I love that one. That was nice. All right. And we come to the last poem of the day, last music for me. This one is the it's the hardest one. This is a piece about something that we've all been experiencing in dramatically in the past year or so, police brutality. I wrote this piece before the George Floyd incident last year, and I guess I need to say, you know, one of the things that drove me to write this piece was an incident that I took place. This piece speaks about that, but it was a recent incident in I was traveling abroad, and I was in another country, and I was told by people that I had met, you know, hey, where you staying? And I'm staying downtown. And they're like, just watch out when you're crossing the street. And I said, okay. First person told me that. I was like, well, I don't know what they're talking about. But two other people then told me the same thing. You know, watch out when you're crossing the street. Watch out when you're crossing the street. So one night it was raining and I was coming home, and I was, crossing the street. And I had the right of way, and I'm walking in the street, and I see a car turning, and it's making its turn. But I said, all right, I have enough room to, make it across the street. But as I was in the center of the street, this car stepped on the accelerator, and it jumped. And then it was at that moment that I realized I'm not going to make it, that I'm going to get hit. So what was crazy was I said, I braced for that moment, and I said, all right, I'm just going to have to hop over this car, and I'm just going to have to time my hop so that I can get over it. And I did. I timed my hop, got over it, got hit on the side by the side mirror, and got thrown into the street, and the car stopped. And at that moment, I was in shock. I got out, and I went to, the driver got out. And the craziest thing was he had a little, smirk on his face. Yeah. And it's crazy because I went through that experience. Next day, a couple of weeks was good. I didn't even think about it. But it wasn't until about 2 months later when I came back home and I was sitting in my room that all of it came down. And so this is a piece about that. So we'll just let this one speak for itself. It's called "And It Was Normal." Yo, what's so crazy is I thought it was normal. A typical normal day, just used to operating in a normal way, something that I truly believed was okay. Normal. But what's so normal about having a public servant point a gun in your face? Not yet 15, making my way home from school on a cold and snowy day. Don't know if mama thought that this could be the day she would hear someone say, "Sorry, ma'am, your son is dead, gunned down because he just disobeyed." But shit, that's normal, right? Normal. No loitering, the police officer said. Just trying to stay warm and dry, I proclaimed. Feeling a certain way because I stayed. He pulled a revolver in full display of other kids trying to go home that day. And in the freezing snow I stood, frozen by the climate of fear and intimidation. He did it simply because he could. Fuck it, a lesson learned. But that shit was normal. Normal. Yo, countless stories heard, the many ways violence was and is played on black and brown bodies by those who loudly claim that they protect and serve all. A hard callus around my heart grew. When I returned home that afternoon, mama shouted her usual tune, "Mi hijo, ¿cómo estuvo su día? How was your day?" I said it was okay. A typical, average, normal day. For years, I truly believed that it was normal. Normal. But the truth is, we are all in serious trouble, for when we think this is normal, we're in a precarious bubble. Normal?
Let us remember that we're not brutalized because we're Baptists. We're not brutalized because we're Methodists. We're not brutalized because we're Muslim. We're not brutalized because we're Catholic. We're brutalized because we are black people in America.
You told us we were free. Well then, show us that we're free.
Free? 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 I am not free to be me. Being me in a world filled with hostility means adapting to the possibility that death is around the corner. Counting the times in my life where I cheated death at the hands of strangers who felt they knew me best because they embraced some sick notion that I was the threat. Just for being me. I'm tired and I am beat. For a long time I walked around like it didn't bother me. But the fugitive slave act is still in effect. And though I'm the master of my destiny, others wait looking to scold and punish me. Their judgment is plain. The sentence is always death.
You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well, then stick to your word. And let us see the justice and equality for all.
For being me, there's a serious price to pay. Gone are the days where I should just obey. I choose to embrace my humanity, to be the best person I can be. I cannot control what others see. I cannot fix their false beliefs. I cannot influence them by the way I dress. I'm way past the days of wishing to impress. I dare to dream and strive for success, to uplift my community and be at my best.
There's a limit to a man's patience, and everyone knows that God, Christ, heaven, everyone knows that what we're asking is not $1 million. What we're asking for is humanity. We're asking to be allowed to live like human beings. And God, you tell us that this is too much to ask. You're sick. You're definitely sick. How can you tell me that it's too much to ask to be a human being?
Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoy this program. I wish you a good day.